Welcome back to Double Down University. I'm back at you guys with another KBO PrizePicks video, and I have two props that I like on today's Tuesday slate. Now KBO is back in action from its off day on Monday. Two props that I like is Park Kang-woo over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, as well as An Chi-hung over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And let's start off with the NC Dinos Park Kang-woo's matchup. And as you can see, the difference between their two lines, as Park Kang-woo is only at 2 hits, runs, and RBIs, and An Chi-hung is at 2.5. Reason being is Park Kang-woo faces a tougher matchup as he faces a strikeout pitcher, as opposed to An Chi-hung doesn't. So we'll get into that matchup. So let's start off with his matchup in Wes Benjamin, who is his opposing pitcher tonight. Now, granted, he doesn't fit the criteria as far as strikeouts that I normally use. If you guys have been watching my previous KBO videos and know the criteria that I look for, which is a low K percentage, high walk rate, and then a low left on base percentage. And then I kind of basically explain why I look for those 3 things. Reason being is if you have a low K rate, you're more susceptible to giving up hits, as well as a high walk rate. You're more susceptible for letting base runners get on base. And then the reason I look for a low left on base percentage is because if the left on base percentage is low, that means that 95% or more of the base runners that you allow on base will score via hit, via walk, or via error or something of that nature. So in this case, he fits the criteria for left on base, and he's average with walk percentage at 6.5. But as you can see, like I said, that's why his line is at 2, because he has a 25% K rate, Wes Benjamin. But also it tells me that he's due for negative regression with his left on base percentage at 68.9. Now league average is around 73%, so he's well below that. And then his FIP score is 4.51, and that's atrocious, because anything over 3 I look at is pretty bad, and that basically is a lot of self-inflicting stuff. So also looking at Wes Benjamin, reason why I chose the hitter that I chose is because he struggles against righties. Not too much. He does really good from both sides of the plate, but of the 2 sides, he struggles against righties more than he struggles against lefties, as he only holds lefties to a 205 batting average as opposed to 252 to righties. So we chose him with none other than a right-handed hitter, as we have Park Kang-woo. Now for him, he does really well against lefties, as Wes Benjamin is a lefty, so he bats .319 against lefties. Another reason why I like him as well is that his strikeout rate is really low, and then he only struck out 18 times to lefties as opposed to 33 to righties, and that is really key in this matchup, because we don't want to waste at bats with strikeouts, especially given that Wes Benjamin is capable of striking out batters. We want somebody to be able to just put the ball in play. If he puts the ball in play, I'm cool with it. If he goes 0 for 4 and he puts the ball in play, I tip my hat to him. He did his job. He didn't strike out. He didn't waste an at bat. So that's all I'm looking for in this scenario. And then also he has 13 RBIs, 11 walks, and then 4 home runs. He's not a big home run hitter. He's more of a contact hitter. So, I think that he could be able to get 2 hits, and some of his teammates be able to knock him in and score him. Now, looking at the last time they played each other, which was July the 21st, he struggled against the Dinos. As you can see here, he was on the hook for the loss in this matchup, as he's allowed. He went 4 1/3 innings. So what that means in baseball terms is he went to the 5th inning. He got 1 out in the 5th inning, and he got pulled. And he pitched 86 pitches. He gave up 4 earned runs, gave up 6 hits, and he only struck out 5 batters, but he only walked 1 batter. So they pretty much tagged him all night with hits, and then he gave up 2 home runs as well. But as you can see here, our batter that we chose, which is Park Kang-woo, he ended up with 5 at-bats in this matchup, as he is one of the top 3 hitters. And normally I want to take hitters in the top 3, because what that means is they get to see the most at-bats, because the lineup always turns over to them, and they basically get that last chance. So they see the most at-bats compared to the batters at the bottom of the lineup. So he had 5 at bats, he had 3 hits, and then he scored 2 runs, and he had 3 RBIs, and he actually hit a home run in this matchup. So that actually equated for a lot of his RBIs is via home run. But he also scored twice, and he got 3 hits. So he didn't just hit 1 home run and he was done. He actually ended up getting 2 more hits. So I like him a lot in this matchup. So that's why I'm going with him. And then also just looking at his advanced numbers, like I stated, he really doesn't strike out much at 15%, which is excellent. And then he also allows himself to get on base via walk, as he has a 10% walk rate, which is excellent as well. Like I said, he's not a big power guy. He's only hit 7 home runs on the season, but he is a big, he scores via runs, as he scores 71 runs on the year. And then he also has a good on-base percentage of .414, which is elite. He has a WRC plus of 130, which is elite as well, as 100 is a good WRC plus score. So I really like him in this matchup. Now moving forward to our last batter in this spot, which is going to be Chi An Hung. And with him, I like him going up against this young pitcher in the for SSG. Now let me see if he's faced them prior. Hanwha, he's pitched 90 innings, so he should have faced him at least once. As you can see here, he pitched 6 innings. He gave up 2 hits, which is really good. He struck out 4, and then he walked 5, so that's potential to get on base as well. And then just looking at his advanced numbers, he is not a big strikeout guy, but he has a high walk rate, as he has 10% walk rate, 15% K rate, which is something that we love, and it's something that I target as well. So he fits the criteria all across the board of what I look for when I take overs. And that's part of the reason why An Chi Hung is at 2.5 and not 2, because this guy doesn't strike out batters. He walks a lot of batters, and then also he has a left on base percentage, which is horrific, at 59%. So he only strands 59% of the runners that he allows on base. And then also his FIP score, like I just said with Wes Benjamin, if his was bad, his is worse at 5.09. So I really like to attack him. And then moving forward, we're going to attack him the same way. So we're going to look at what does he give up, and then we're going to go and attack him with that hitter that will expose his weakness. So in this case, he struggles against righties. As you guys can see here, he struggles against righties. He gives a 319 batting average to righties, as opposed to only a 265 batting average to lefties. So we're going to attack him with a righty. And then also to note, we're going to do the same thing. Pick a guy that doesn't strike out a lot and puts the ball in play. As you can see here, he has a 13% K rate, which is excellent as well, and then a 9.5% walk rate, which is excellent as well. Has a really solid on-base percentage at 374, and then his WRC plus is 9 points above league average, which is at 109. And then he also has he's not a big power hitter as well. His ISO power is only 121. Has a little bit of speed, not too much speed, at 2.4 speed. So we're just pretty much going to attack this slate with contact hitters to put the ball in play and be able to, get hits to get on base and score, and hopefully their teammates do their job and score them. So once again, Park Kang-woo, over 2 hits, runs, and RBIs is An Chi Hung, over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.